Good morning, everybody. Today is Friday, March 20th, 2015. It is 9:06 a.m. Eastern Time. Welcome to Phoenix Trading Strategies, where strategic knowledge and information allows you to trade successfully. For those of you that are new, we welcome you. For those of you that have been here, we welcome you back. It's always nice to see you. Let's go over the disclaimer before we go any further. And we will go from there. Disclaimer: future stocks and spot currency trading have large potential rewards and large potential risk. You must be aware of the risk and be willing to accept them in order to invest in the future stocks and forex markets. Don't trade with money you can't afford to lose. This website is neither a solicitation nor an offer to buy, sell futures, stocks, or forex. No representation is being made that any account will or is likely to achieve profits or losses similar to those discussed on this website. Past performance of indicators or methodology are not necessarily indicative of future results. Being that said and done, welcome to Phoenix Trading Strategies. Today is a Friday session. Normally we do a recap and we try and find whatever trade opportunities are out there. This one that we're about to look at, I actually started at around 8:25 a.m. and it was the U.S. Canadian. I originally got in 2 minutes before the announcement, got a signal on the 60-minute that it was going to go long. It did. It went all the way up here. It's come back down. It's been playing this zigzag. It's gone from a 60-minute to a 120-minute right here, which is 127.11. You know, it's playing within this range, so I'm going to let it play because I think that it still has a little bit more room to breathe to the upside. So long as it stays above 128, 126.87, I think we'll be fine with that one. So let's go here. Homepage. For those of you that are new, I advise you to take a look at it. It's a good read. It'll give you an idea basically of what we do, why we created Phoenix Strategies, and why we created the technology. The About Us page is a little bit more background on myself. I started off as a retail trader back in 2001, became a licensed broker in 2008. I am currently not registered with anyone at this moment. Worked for one of the largest future commission merchants out there. Got my Series 3, my Series 34 license, but as I said, it is not active right now. And I was fortunate to work on a lot of projects having to do with integrating bank feeds into the and creating one of the first aggregators for the retail market. So great read. I think it'll give you a basic idea and why my theory currency portfolio rebalancing does have some validity. These are some of the things that I've specialized in, but at the end of the day, what really matters is, can I make the software work for you? And I think I can. You can go to the indicators page. Indicator is always nice. You can hit on any indicator and it will just click on the picture and it'll give you a brief description of what the indicator does. This is a great volume indicator, unmatched by any out there. It really gives you the depth of the market per time frame, per candle, per bar. You know, the rest is just amazing behind it. The power dots is also our leading indicator and component. You can go to the blog. The blog, we have videos of trades that we've done in the past. We will be upgrading videos and posting them tomorrow. Actually, we're loading them up on YouTube today, so a lot of great videos for you guys to watch. Latest trades, we will be incorporating the latest trades. Made 7 trades yesterday evening at around 8 p.m., actually 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time on all the yen pairs, all 7 pairs. Closed the trades out this morning at 5:30 a.m. with over 230 pips in the green. If you would have had a standard lot on each one, let's say that you would have made over $2,100 for those trades. So you'll be receiving an email with the snapshots of all those trades later on, and hopefully this one will work out as well. Trading videos, you can go here as well. Can just continue to read. It'll get you to the video itself. Very interesting. We had a great European session, very emotional. Tensions were high, nerves were, racking up. We were negative at the beginning, then positive, then negative, and then ended up bringing it back. So it was a very interesting session. Everyone enjoyed it, but it showed the power of the technology, which at the end of the day makes sense, because if you really think about it, there aren't that many systems out there that allow you a quick recovery time. This one does. You can have a bad day or even a bad 2 days and just, be stopped out, but there'll be that one trade, like yesterday afternoon. I'll show you the snapshots real briefly of those trades, and then, you can see for yourself. But they were really, really amazing to see. Wow, look at these treacherous individuals. They came right back down. They didn't give it up any further. They formed the pivot right at that level. So it's 60. I'll remember this one, a 60-minute to a 180 or 120, and that's it. Just like a 240 to a 480 level will hit. Okay. Good lesson to see. I'm missing pips. All right, we'll get to that right now. Let me close this one out then. As much as it breaks my heart, because it's not going anywhere any further. It's actually, you know what? This one's actually going to come down further than this, because they spiked, so it should. We'll reverse the order, because if it breaks below this level, it'll come down more aggressively. But I'm just curious. Let's go to the next ones and let's see. All right, we're talking pound Aussie, correct? Pound Aussie. Now you must be looking at something. What minute are you looking at on this one? Pound yen and pound Aussie. Okay. Passed already. You're killing me. All right. Nothing here, nothing here. 30 minutes. Right there. What are you talking about? This thing's going short. The power dot's right there. This is still a good trade. $60 minutes. Let's see on this one. Okay, the 60 minutes is here. Let's see if there's any more here. Nope. I mean, it came down, came back up. This is one more. I believe this one will come down one more time. I don't think it'll go up any further from here. Let's go to the 20 minute real quickly and see if we're in line. The market is always interesting because it always gives you a trade. Okay, so it broke here, but right there. Yeah, same level. Nothing here. Here, yes, right there, went to that level. And again, it's not a valid level because this one, they broke through it, but they used it as a resistance level. They're using it as a resistance level. Let's scale this thing down to the 10-minute. I'm assuming that you went long on this one. That exact. Let's see. See, look at that, it bounced. Went to it and bounced. I mean, no buy, hold, sell trade recommendations, but I'm thinking it'll come down here from 92.75 to 91.84. It looks like a good drop. It really does. I would be, let me go to the smaller minutes on this. Let's go to the 5. It started off in the 60-minute, broke. It formed. See, there's a pivot here. It traded right below this thing. And it went long originally, but now it's on the short side. It's trading below the trend dots. No, I'm short on this one. No buy, hold, sell trade recommendations. It's at 92.72. The entry. Your stop loss should be at 9,300, 25 pips away. This is where you should market. If it continues to go down, which I think that it will, then at that point, once it goes down another 10, 15 pips, then you can move your stop loss to break even. But right now, you would have to break below 92.59 from where it's currently at for it to be a more valid trade to the downside. So we're just going to have to let this one play. But let's go over why. This is where it becomes interesting because we look at every component. So in this case, the trade did go long. It hit this level, which was on the 30-minute. They formed a pivot right above it. They basically have, this was an immediate U-turn right away. And the volume is telling us that there's divergence. Why? Because the bars are closing, starting to come in lower and lower. But we still need more volume divergence. So this is where the volume indicator comes in and sort of clarifies the picture. Here, for instance, they hit this level, 84 million on the buy, 75 million on the sell. The way a volume indicator works, it synthetically creates a volume in the market because, as you know, in forex, you can't really see, excuse me, the real volume that the banks are moving. So we've synthetically created it. Now, however, this one's telling you something very important, that 193 level was a high priority level by the banks, and that's why it identified it there. One of the things that the power dots do is that it identifies the support and resistance levels that they are using for that day. See, now we're at practically break even on this trade. Now, this one here, with the amount of volume that they pushed on the buy side, they should have broken above this level, and they didn't. Now here, for instance, you can see the volume here increased even further on the buy side, and the sellers brought it back. Now, the reason why is that the sellers will not trade above 9,300. So they will not fill orders, and that's what happened here. You had a surplus of 10 million in purchase orders or in bids from the buyers, and the sellers wouldn't buy it. Here we have it, they show that they are not, and they drive price action down. And the sellers agree to offset a lot of those trades except for 25 million because they didn't want to go any further. But the sellers are the ones to control. This next one here, the volume just dropped. But the buyers accepted to trade here, and they pretty much balanced out the orders. And as you can see now, they're continuing. So this trade has the potential to come to 92.19, which would be phenomenal. It would be a great trade for us, even though we got in at 92.72. But then it could come down all the way to 91, 91.90 is what I'm thinking, max. And if it does that, you're talking about a potentially, close to a 100 pip move. We got in a little late on the trade, but if it continues, and like I said, I'm more comfortable if this trade breaks below 92.60. If it breaks below 92.60, then at that point, like I said, you could move your stop loss from here to a break-even level right here, and then just let the trade play out. So this is a very key component. Normally when they hit the trend stop is because there's another level there that we're not seeing. And that level is right here. See this line? 92.60. So if it does break below 92.60, this would be it, because as you can see, anytime that they've attempted to come here, they come all the way down. So for us, this is very significant right now. There's a sell on the Euro Aussie at 480. Okay, thank you. We'll take a look at that. What about the pound Aussie? Did you see a level there? And let me remove the volume indicator in order for us to move faster, because otherwise it bogs down the system pretty badly. Okay, so let's go here. For crying out loud. Okay. So yeah, this is, 92.60. 92.61 is really what we're looking for it to break. If it breaks below that, a smooth ride to the downside. Pivots on 60-minute on Euro Aussie. All right, let's go there real quickly. Ooh, it is on a 480 level right there. Look at that, and it is barely going down. Good call, good trade. Yeah, this will come down pretty excessively. No buy, hold, sell trade recommendations, but let's let it play. Your stop loss would be up here at 140 even, so it's about 15 pips away. You can put a little higher, but if it continues, it probably would continue here. And let's look at the higher time frames on this one. Let's look at the 60. Oh yeah, this one was, I mapped this one out, and it looks like it will come right back down. Very good trade. But look, I mean, they went from another 480 level to a 240 to a 480 on this one. They formed the power dots here last night at 5 a.m. in the morning, and they went long. And this trade was pretty significant because the move on this was pretty staggering, actually. 113 pips. Now, I'm not saying that this will come down 113 pips, but you never know. But even if it came down halfway to here, it's a good trade. You're talking about a potential 40, 50 pip trade. So very interesting. Give me a minute. I'll be right back. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Boy, they're fighting it, aren't they? But if this candle closes below, on the 60-minute, below this level, there is no tomorrow after that. Tomorrow will not come for the bulls. They are going to get slaughtered, and here comes the trade. Oh, look at that. That means that our Euro Aussie, this is the Euro Aussie, the pound Aussie should also be in play. Yeah, look at that. It's coming down very nicely. That level right there did it for us. I want to see that US CAD because that was such a disappointing trade. It should have gone long. It did go long, but now it came down, right down to this level. Look at that. Conniving, deceitful. Mischievous. Let's go down to the smaller minutes. Oh yeah, it's not going to do any more than that. I'll close it out. It'll be a break even on this one, more or less. And if it comes down a little further, then come down a little further. But I don't think it'll go to more than a little bit more than that. No, that's it. Look at that. Deceitful. It came down too aggressive. It just doesn't seem to want to break below any further. So no, we'll take our lump on this one and close it out at a break even. We didn't lose, we didn't win. So that was USD CAD. Not going to worry about this one any further. Now let's go to the other ones. Euro Aussie. Yeah, see. This one has room to come down here, 139.45. From here to here would be 40 pips. Would not be a bad trade if it comes down. I don't see another level holding it here, but then again, now this would be the next one, 139.57. If it gets to this level, then it might come down here, but there's nothing supporting. There are no power dots here, so the next level is here, 139.37. So we'll see. It'll be very interesting. Yes, at this point, I would tell you to move the stop loss to break even because it's already broken through to the downside, and that's very doubtful that they will come back and retest because it has to come down to 139.57. That's the next level at this point. So it's a matter of just watching it. As for the pound, and because they're trading below that 480 level, that 480 minute, I mean, that's very significant. You know, that's an 8-hour level. If it closes right before 10 a.m. below that level, it's going to scream to the downside. It'll take a while. Remember, it's also Friday. Fridays are very unique in the, you know, from the perspective that the banks have to put their order book in neutral. So they have to neutralize their positions to reduce risk over the weekend because you never know what will happen over the weekend. That's the one thing that, you know, you have to take into consideration, or get slaughtered in the process. And no one gets slaughtered. Remember, they have deep pockets. Retail traders don't. So this one here, look, the same thing. It's coming down. You could move your stop loss to a break-even level now, and then just let it ride, let it unfold. This would be the second candle. Once this candle closes, because it will close below the trend dot here, it has to come here to 192.36. That's what I'm estimating. There's a power dot here, which is not really a support level. This is really the support level, 191.80. That's really where it has to come down to, apparently. Again, you know, if we look at a 480 level here on the pound Aussie, we may not see, there are no levels here. Unlike the Euro Aussie had it, we don't have it here on the pound Aussie. So sometimes you can go off of those numbers, off of a different, the 720 doesn't have it either. Maybe the 1440, nope. The 240, maybe, nope. Well, this one is telling you that this was going to go short, but the distance is too far. But because it came down like this, and rarely does it do that, but when it does it, normally that's usually the case. But no levels there, so can't go off that. The 180, maybe we'll be lucky. The 180 right here, 93.36. So this one did it. It was one candle, but all you need sometimes is just one to show you the road. So at least we've identified that level. Yeah, 190, 199. I'm thinking 190, 180 myself, but I'd be happy if it goes to 190, 199, quite honestly. And then let's go down to the, no, that was the 80 minute. Huh, amazing. I was hitting 90 and I hit 80 minute. We'll be looking at that. Mark that down, ladies and gentlemen, 80 minute. We will take a look at that one as well from now on. Besides the 90. No levels there. Let's go to the 60. Nothing. Actually, the 60 lines up with that 80 minute. Not bad. Let's go to the 45. The 45, identified it right here. We'll draw a line here actually. To identify that it is a level as well. Come on, straighten out. Okay, doesn't get any better than that. So let's not crawl over it. Let's go to a 30 minute. And that's where this level came in, the 30 minute. If we go down to a 20, I don't think we'll see anything except here. This is the support level. If it breaks through this, it'll come screaming down here. 91, 96, no question about it. You missed it by 20. What do you mean I missed it by 20? Oh, the cat's was... It is Happy Friday, can't complain. You know, the amazing thing is that with this system, a lot of people that weren't really making money before are now making. And I'm very happy for them, believe me. You know, there is nothing more special to a software developer and educator than to see his people succeed. And that's what I see. I see my people succeeding using these tools. Because the one thing that we have, I think that no one else out there has, is that when the power dots form, they do actually 4 things. This is the secret behind our, our technology, that we were able to isolate this algorithm that we designed, and it has, it has like 4 different algorithms written, encoded into it. So it's a super algorithm. It identifies volume, momentum buildup, isolates the price levels that the banks are going to use to rebalance their order book, which is something very unique. And it maps out their real support and resistance levels that normally you would never see. To me, that's worth $1 million right there alone. Because, based on that information, I can make better decisions. In this case, he pretty much announced it. There was a 480 level on the Euro Aussie. We found it here on the 180, which is a very big level. So it should come right back down to a 60-minute level. And that means it's got to come down to 91.80. 91.99 would be the minimum, but it's going to come down. And if it closes below the, within the next 40 minutes below this level, then make no mistake, it's coming down like a bandit, and it ain't looking back. So these are a lot of the things that many times we don't take into consideration, but the software does it for us. Yesterday we were going over a trade that we took on the pound CAD during the European session, and there was a big fight over that between, me and some of my students. I mean, we were fighting it out inch and nail. They were saying short, I was saying long. I took it long here and here because it was bouncing off of a 480 level. But they were shorting it because it was bouncing off of I think it was like a 30-minute level. And it did come down. No one questioned that. But it also came down to this level right here, which was on the 30-minute or 60-minute, and it was a 187.50. And it came right down to it, but it was the volume divergence, and this is why I put these lines here, and I showed it yesterday in the class. This was the one that made the difference for us. This was a candle that said long, and it went long 114 pips. Now I didn't take out that much out of this thing because I closed it right when we ended the class at 5 a.m. Eastern. Oh God, really? Let's try that again. What? For crying out loud. Huh. Why can't I do that? All right, let's try this again. Well, you'll see it in an email and video that we're sending out for this one. It was about, I'd like to say 30 pips. Close to 35 pips around there. But we were fighting tooth and nail on this trade. They were saying short, and I'm saying no, the overall picture is long. The short-term picture was short. It did come down, no question, but it ended up going long. And it went up to another level, which I didn't map out here, but it was another 480 level, which was about right here. Very interesting trade. And then, of course, it came right back down, and look at how much it came down. But then, as soon as it broke again, look at that, it went right back up. So the levels that that we map out are really, really significant, and it makes a big difference when you're trading, because it does. It can mean the correct trade or the wrong trade. Bottom line, at the end of the day, that's really what we're looking for. We're looking for the right trades, even if you only make 15, 20 pips, 10 pips. At least if you're in the right direction of the trade, you win. There are some people that don't have the tolerance to stay in a trade once they're in profit more than 10, 15 pips. I know this because I have quite a few students that have that problem. However, now they're starting to stay in for 20 to 35 pips. So it makes a difference from that perspective because their confidence has gone up. Not real scalpers. Excuse me. They're not real scalpers. They're, they know the direction that the trades are going to go into. It's more of a fear factor because they trade so much. yeah, Adisak here, he can't stay in a trade more than 20 pips, but he's trading a sizable account. So those 20 pips signify a lot, But if you're trading, one standard, two standards, you're sometimes a little bit more comfortable in holding the trade. See, like right here, it's not really budging any further, and there's still, like I said, a few more minutes before 20, not even 20 minutes, 18 minutes before the hour closes. And if it does, then we should hit it. But look how it came and bounced off of this level. If it breaks this level, then it'll go down shorter even further. If it doesn't, and look, and the reason why I say this is because every time they've come and hit this level, they've come down here to 190, 192. So at this point, we have to let it try and achieve that. If it does that, then smooth right to the downside. No question about it. But one of the things that we do during the European session is that I don't really explain how the indicators work. I don't describe. I usually do that on Mondays and Fridays. I give you a brief description. What I show you is that we're trading it live on the live edge of the market, and we're letting the software basically tell us what trades we should be looking for. That's it. There isn't much more talk except, we're finding trades. That is what makes the difference. We're looking to find real live trades on the live edge of the market. We're not talking about, well, I would have taken this trade because it went up here and then it flipped. And when I saw that, I would have gone short. Yeah, right. No. We're showing you live, just like we are right now, that we took this trade in front of you. This is how we trade in the European session as well. So it makes a big difference in that regard, because I only trade the European session twice a week myself. I don't need to trade it any further. I love my sleep. And if you love your sleep, then wherever you live, you have to find the sessions that make sense. I've always said that the Asian session is a great session to trade because very little news, and the trades that come out are just exciting. I mean, sometimes they just give money away. It's not a big deal, but here, let me show you. We'll go over the 7 trades that I took real quickly on the, now go to the 15 minutes for that. Go to the Swiss yen. This was the one that really just, wrong symbol. CHF-JPY. We'll send you a snapshot. Look, I got in here. I got out here. Look at where this thing went. This one, I think I picked up from here to here. 55 pips. It moved 100 pips. The New Zealand yen, which I hardly ever trade, got in here, got out here. Look at that. It moved even further. I could kick myself sometimes, but it doesn't matter. I got 38 pips out of it. Could have probably gotten 70, but I got 38 pips out of it. At 2:30, it was like 2:30 in the morning my time, 5:30 a.m. Eastern time. It's another one, Aussie yen. Aussie yen wasn't a big mover per se. I got in here, got out here. So from here to here, 23 pips. Could have picked up 40, but I picked up 23. The pound yen was not a big mover. It was actually disappointing. Got in here, got out here, and look, the damn thing screamed to the upside. I got in here. Where'd I get in? No, got in here, got out here. I made 24 pips, and it's probably 70 pips now, or if not 100 pips. I should have just left the trades. But I can't complain. What I'm trying to get at is that at the end of the day, so long, see this one reversed, look at that, treacherous. I'm actually glad I got out on this one. They would have beaten me and eaten me severely on this one. I made 27 pips on that. I would be at break even more or less based on my entry on this one. There was one more that I'm missing. I did pound yen, euro yen, Aussie yen, New Zealand yen, Swiss yen, US yen, CAD yen. Got in here and it went all the way up here. $25 pips. But look at this thing. I'm glad I got out. Came down, swinged very aggressively. Now it's back up. You know, sometimes it's better to take what you can get and not dwell in the what could have happened. You tried like me. Now you see the powers from previous. Riverside for 30 years in the industry said they're the best and levels trade off of. For someone that's been trading for, you know, quite as much as you have, Adisak, these are the best levels to trade off of. You're right. I do agree with you. It is just amazing. I mean, you know, I found 7 trades yesterday afternoon. No question. They were going to hit. That was it. Just like right now, you know, right before the news hit, I was in the US CAD and I went long. And look at that. It came down a little further right to the level. Treacherous. From level to level, they don't miss. They don't miss. That's the power behind our technology. Yeah. You know, David, let me answer these. Hold on. Each day. Spain. Oh, wow. You're in Spain. That's right, buddy. You're in Mallorca. I'll have to go there and visit you. I have a reason to go to Spain now. Okay. David, I don't use MT4. As much as I used to use it before, it just doesn't work. It's free. It's one of those platforms that has limitations. I use NinjaTrader because I can't use my algorithms on MT4. Just not really programmable, you know, because I need tick data and I need a lot of it. And NinjaTrader is really the one platform that I use. Now, it doesn't say that you have to trade and execute your live trades off of it. You can execute your trades off of an MT4 if you feel comfortable doing that. A lot of my students do that, but we use NinjaTrader for charting, specifically for charting. And that's really what, you know, what it comes down to. Nothing more, nothing less in that regard. But look, this trade, I was in it a minute before, and it came all the way up 27 pips. I should have gotten out. I thought it was going to go to this level, but it didn't. Instead, it reversed, came back down. I was negative here by 10 pips. I made it up, still made a little bit, maybe 1 or 2 pips profit. Should have stayed in it. They're going to break it. They're going to come down. You know, that's just, so the levels don't lie. Here, we're pretty much, you know, stuck right now on the pound Aussie and euro Aussie. It wants to break, but it doesn't break. Do we stay or do we go? That's the next question. But look, they're bouncing off of a level right here on the 15-minute. Now, whenever these dots form isolated away from everything, they're dangerous. This is one part of the algorithm that I still haven't figured out after designing the thing, you know, with my partner. We still haven't figured out why it does that. But it's sort of a warning from that regard. Do I have a predetermined level for exit based on price action? I'll tell you right now. Does the alert to news data, that was the CAD? Yes, that was the CAD spike, yeah. Yeah. Now, you know, our system, you know, NinjaTrader, we have a market analyzer. So we get alerts where the power dots form, where the levels are. We can change it from a 20-minute to a 180 to a 480 to a 10-minute, whatever. You can have all the instruments here, all the ones that you're trading, and it makes life in trading so much easier because we did it for that reason, not because we're lazy. I'm not lazy. I trade smart. You know, I don't like to waste time when time is very valuable. I don't like to be in front of the computer when I don't have to. So this system allows you to have a life. Instead of being in front of the computer analyzing levels and support and resistance and everything here and there and using outdated technology that doesn't work, we're providing you with cutting-edge technology that does work. Adisat can attest to that because he's making it work every day. I can't tell you how much this man makes daily, but let me tell you something. It is a privilege and an honor to have shown him how to use this technology because he makes this thing rip limb from limb. The banks don't know what to do with him. His broker is scared of him every day. Every time that he trades, they cry. It's just that simple. Oh, you're welcome. Well deserving, my friend. Well deserving. You know, and then he calls me and he texts me and he Skypes me and tells me I missed the trade. I'm the one that taught this guy, and I'm the one missing the trades. So, and I have a lot of students like him. Ivar is another student. You know, he traded the Fed and the Fed announcement, and you know, he got signals on the 60-minute before the announcement. It was confirmed on the euro dollar, pound dollar. They screamed over 200 pips each trade. So, you know, for trading the news, this is just a phenomenal system. For trading when there is no news, the way I took those 7 trades last night around 8:30 Eastern time, it's a great system. I picked up 230 pips on 7 trades. You tell me another system that gives you that type of early warning. Well, that's the question of 1,000 words, isn't it, my friend? First things first, you got to buy the software. And second thing, we go through a 3-day training course, and we spread it out over a week and a half. I don't train 3 days consecutively because I can't. There's too much information, and I like to give a lot of homework. But by the time that you're done, you will understand what order flow trading is through volume price analysis. You see, Richard Wyckoff, he started the game on volume spread analysis, but he didn't finish it. He didn't have the technology back then, and yet he made millions, but then he lost them just as much. We've designed the technology not only to adapt a trade to forex, but to futures and to stocks. So this package that you're getting, you can trade all 3 markets. You just can't miss. If one market doesn't give it to you, another one will. You know, we'll take a look at gold real quickly. I always, you know, I like gold. It's one of my favorites, actually. And here, look. You got the signal on the 15-minute. Here are the power dots, right here. They came down to the congestion level, and then they formed right before it spiked. The move on this thing, if you're a futures trader, you'd be up right now on one contract, $680. Now, what it may take on forex to make on one lot, $680, on futures, you can make it with us day in and day out. So we start you off trading with FX because we think it's much better because the tick data is much more complete than it is in the futures. And even though it's a centralized exchange that we're looking at in futures, but until recently when they went completely electronic and kicked out all the floor traders that were trading open outcry, which were useless, all the floor brokers there, because they were outdated. Now they can't trade because they don't know how to trade using technology. We've created technology that would make their heads spin. Well, actually, we do have a floor trader that retired from there that is using our technology and is just, I mean, this guy's just killing it trading futures. It's amazing. Believe me, it's one of those things that when you look at, you know, the practicality, the simplicity behind the system, forex trading is hard. It's not easy. You know, as much as we like to make it easy, it's not. You know what? I didn't start trading futures, and I don't like to trade futures that often quite, you know, myself. I like forex more, but, you know, I won't turn away a trade if I see this. You know, maybe I'll trade it on the binaries. For me, it may be simpler just to do a binary trade on this. Instead of trading futures, it reduces my risk. I'm buying an option. If it plays, great, I make money. If I don't, I lose, and that's it. But my risk is minimized. It's calculated. When you're trading futures, if it goes against you adversely, you're in debt. But if it goes in the direction, in this case, we're trying to predict. We're trying to predict outcomes. And the outcomes are predictable. That's what makes the difference. Adisak can attest to that. Ivar can attest to that. You know, I mean, these guys are trading news as if it were a video game. I'll tell you a joke. Adisak didn't know Janet Yellen was going to speak on Wednesday at all. And yet he was in a few trades. And then he sketched me. He goes, you know, I have to thank Janet Yellen. And I go, were you trading? He goes, oh, yeah. I'm not going to tell you how much he made because he made way too much. He shocked himself. But he knew the direction of the trades on all his positions. And he went to sleep with a smile on his face because he lives in Asia. I don't think he slept. I think he had a dream of how many pips he made and the amount of money that it amounted to in his live account. So Ivar, same thing. I have a lot of guys that are doing the same thing. They're trading this, not, you know, it's a business. It's not a video game. It sounds like a kid in a candy store. Exactly. Many traders have told me that this is like taking candy from a baby. You know, John, he's been with us from the very beginning. He can attest to some of the trades that just blow your mind. I mean, in the live edge of the room, we are just slaughtering the brokers. It's just, you know, it's just one of those things that you sort of question. You're like, really? See, look at this one. The Euro Aussie it's still kicking. It broke below that level, and now we can, you know, I'm expecting it to go to 139.38. That's where I would be sort of considering getting out on this trade. And if it breaks below that, then it'll come down right here to 139.28. So, you know, this isn't a dream. This is a reality that we're living. I mean, you basically saw me take these trades live. I told you why. It's a 480 level, 480-minute level. Now let's divide that by 60 so you can see how strong that level is. That's an 8-hour level. Did you know that they map their trades out on 8 and 4 hours? But no one seems to identify their support and resistance levels because they don't know how they're using them. They change them every day, sometimes every 2 days, the higher levels. But we're seeing them. We're catching them before the trades actually play out. Many people would have said, oh, this is going to go long. It didn't go long. It went short. We knew it was going to go short because it identified the level right here. On the pound Aussie, it came out in the 180 minute, right here. And look, I'd love for this trade to come down all the way over here. You know, I want to give it some room to breathe. It's been the hour. It closed below it. Let's go to the 60 minute here just so you can see. See this right here? I would expect this candle, this next candle, to come down here to 192.21. And if it breaks this level, literally come down here to 192.80, not 191.80. That's where my real target is, 191.80 on the pound Aussie. And look at that. It's coming. So sometimes you have to really take into consideration, are you going to continue to use outdated technology and platforms that are free, that don't mean anything? Or are you willing to take a leap of faith with something that is actually working and that you're seeing before your very eyes that is working? I guess that's the question you have to answer for yourself. I can't make that for you. I can tell you, though, that the guys that did make that decision, to move forward with this. And believe me, Adisac, Evar, I mean, these guys were MT4 fanatics. You know, to get them to understand that they needed to use a much more professional platform because they needed to see the real game plan, the real trade plan. You know, when we talk about, when we say that you're in a financial war and you've been given no advantage, we're not lying. When we say, one could even say you've been sabotaged with wrong information, we're not misleading you. The banks prepare their battle plans in advance to ensure that when you enter into this war, your strategy fails. Banks make you believe you have a fighting chance and let you enter the battlefield with a stick while they have landmines, tanks, missiles, strategically placed levels that you've never, ever seen to lead you to a financial slaughter. We are not being led into a financial slaughter. Someone here would have thought this is going to go long. We saw the power play to the downside. Someone here would have said, oh, it's going to, you know, because it's breaking this, it's going to break this level and it's going to go long. Sure it is. You know, we're not trading with old, outdated education or technology. No, we're trading with cutting-edge technology and cutting-edge education. And you have to understand that my background, because I was privy to working with a team to develop the first electronic communications network, which was to integrate multiple bank feeds as one into a bridge for the retail market, that's where I learned the protocols that they were using to report their data, their tick data. So all that information that you're getting is seen and visualized here. That's why the algorithms that we've designed are state-of-the-art. You know, yesterday a friend of mine called me and he said, you know, you have competition. FXCM just came out with some volume indicators. And I'm looking at his webinar. And I go, yeah, you tell me how bad they are when you're done. He called me upset, livid, said that what they've designed doesn't work, and he would never, ever use it. He goes, if they had stuff like yours, then they would really help the traders out. Well, let me let you in on a little insight. Brokerage firms are not out there to help the retail trader. They're out to make money. So when that happens, they don't really design tools to help you. They design tools for them to win, for you to lose, especially now that FXCM announced that they are now converting everything to their B-book. What does that mean? When a brokerage firm tells you that they have a B-book, that means that they're taking the opposite side of your trades. Do they have interest in you winning? The answer is no. Now in futures and stocks it's different because it is an exchange, a centralized exchange. So there are market makers there, but you know, there's no brokerage there taking the opposite side of your trade. But here in FX there are. Well, FXCM is doing that because of the bad situation they got caught with the Swiss National Bank. They lost over $200 million in one day. They had to borrow money to stay in business. Well, now they have to pay interest on that money. Guess where it's going to come from now? Now that they've converted their A-book to B-book. An A-book is when they strategically do straight-through processing. So they transfer all your orders to a liquidity provider, a bank, hedge fund, what have you. Well, they weren't making any money on that. They need to make money now. So now, of course, you know, they're taking the opposite side of each and every trade that you make if you have an account there. I told people, get out of FXCM. I don't see much of a future. At this point, I like to be safe and not sorry. I didn't have an account with them at the time. Didn't really care to, quite honestly. But for those that did, I mean, they were shocked when it happened because everyone was in fear that they were going to lose the money that they had in their account. and then suddenly, FXCM got bailed out. The third largest liquidity provider to the retail market in the world got whacked. And that was it. So I'm going to take my profit in this one on the pound Aussie, because I don't see it going any further. As much as I'd like it to really come down, it's just holding there. And sometimes it's better to just take what's on the table. Not a bad trade for the morning. This one's a pretty good trade. This one's at this level. I said if it doesn't break below this level, it won't. But, and I'd really like it to, for it to come down to this level. At the end of the day, it comes down to will it, and we can't predict that sometimes. We can only define the levels as they're presented to us based on how they're mathematically calculated, and then determine as the trade plays out, will it go to that level. Now, if we think about it from top to bottom, this trade did 112 pips. But from this level, but from here to here, it's 47. So it's practically a 50% retracement. I don't think it will go any further. I think it's pretty much going to stall out where it's at right now. And because of that, like I said, sometimes it's better to take what's on the table and move on to the next trade. I've learned that from some of my students. Even though sometimes I like to hold on to trades that I think they have more to give, sometimes it just doesn't make sense to say any further. Just take what you can get. Another trade will present itself. They always do. You can literally find every day 5 trades in this market. 5 trades. Let's see if it breaks it right now. If it breaks it right now, then I'll stay. But if it doesn't, I won't. I really need it to go below that level, 139.52. Once it goes below 139.50, then I'm going to feel a little bit more comfortable with the trade, and I'll let it ride down, because the next level for it to come will be here, 139.43, and then the next one would be here, which would be 139.28. So let's see. Let's see how it plays. But for those of you that have questions, I'm going to give you a little secret which I share very little with people. So pay attention, write this down. It's very important. Actually, I just typed it in the chat. It's my email. If you have any questions, send me an email. I will respond right away. I would tell you when you're starting off slow, don't go in with a lot. I mean, you don't want to be undercapitalized, and start off trading minis if you can. You can start off with a $3,000 account, to test the waters. Now, normally the banks don't really do anything differently. Oh, definitely. No, if you're new with this software, you want to start off small. At the beginning, I actually tell you, trade, demo trade for a good 3 weeks to a month. Now, I've had people that have bought the software out the gate, and he's not here today. His name is Zul, and he is from Singapore. He bought the software, and out the gate, before I trained him, he took 2 live trades and made 80 pips. And then he sent me the snapshots because of the videos that we've posted. He goes, I followed your direction to the T, and I made 80 pips. What, did I do it right? I responded back, I didn't tell you to go live, man. What's wrong with you? You haven't trained for this yet. You're not ready. He goes, but it looks so easy. I told him, I don't care. I'm happy you made 80 pips. You made part of your investment back in the software, but be a little patient. There's so much more that I have to share with you, that when you start trading, you will trade. The one thing we believe is that we help remove two factors that affect us as traders. Fear and doubt. We fear the trade because we don't understand it. We doubt the direction of trade because we can't confirm it. With this software, we don't fear the trade. We don't doubt the trade. We look forward to the trade. Adisak can attest to that because he looks for 5 different trades every day. So, when you look at that and you think about that statement, it's very, very, very important. I'm going to give you another piece of advice that you can write down. And this one is my Skype name. I just typed it in. You can reach me through Skype. And then the last one, which is the doozy, is my phone number, 818-431-1357. If you're really serious about learning how to trade and really succeeding in this environment, then give me a call. No, you can't have my bank account. But I'm going to get yours, John. Because I'm telling you, you will shock yourself when you see how this software works. You're seeing it right now, and it's hard for you to believe, and I know this, because we make it look so easy. Trading is not easy. Trading is hard, but we make trading accessible to you. And I think that makes the difference. That now you're actually a part of a VIP list that the banks never wanted you to be a part of. Now, I'm not telling you that they're not going to try and counter-program this, a few years down the road. They just might. But it wouldn't matter because my algorithm adapts to their strategy and their algorithms. You could say that I have rated the feed, but I really haven't. I've basically decoded their algorithms because they're all written by PhDs, mathematicians, physicists, chemists. I mean, these guys are mathematically gifted. But they never thought that someone like myself or my partner would come in and literally decompile their algorithms to create something that would work better than a robot. Because this isn't a robot. You actually have to manually enter your trades. You actually have to manually exit your trades. So you can put an entry order. You can put a take profit target as well and just leave it and walk away and let the trade play. Like I said, you will shock yourself when you see the results. One of the things that, the video that we're going to send out for the European session, I didn't win that day. I actually lost a total of 7 pips. But when you see all the trades that we took and how difficult the market was, I did win. Because even though we started off with a winning trade at the beginning, and then a losing trade, and then another winning trade, and then another 2 losing trades, but then we closed it with a winning trade that brought us back. The recovery time is so fast on this because you can it takes you from one trade to another so quickly that it shocks you. I mean, just literally you're at a loss of words at that. From one moment you could be trading the Euro Aussie and then you get a signal on the Euro Pound. And we'll go to the Euro Pound just so you can see. The signal was here to go short. You took that trade, didn't you, Adisak? He mentioned it. I know he did. And again, it's trading off of a 480 level right here. This is an 8-hour level going to a 4-hour level. It's going to take its time, but it's going to get here. Just measure this out and see for yourself what the potential could be on this trade. 41 pips. Even if they get to this level, you still 30 pips. These were the 30 easiest pips you could ever make, or the 40 easiest pips that you could ever make. So what we teach you is to map out the trade. And once you learn the levels, then you can incorporate the volume. And when you incorporate the volume, it is a hallelujah moment that you're like, what? You did what? You've created what? And yes, what we've created is sensational. It is cutting edge. And no one out there can touch us right now. Literally, our technology is unmatched right now. Adisak can attest to it. Ivar can attest to it. And so can a lot of other students that are taking it. Felix can attest to it. George has seen it. John, Karen, Mahesh has seen it. Mahesh is a very experienced trader. He's seen everything out there. But he sees the power behind this. Rick can attest to it. So yes, will it make a difference for you? It'll make a difference for you. It'll make you better. What you're going to learn is what real professional traders do. That's what you're going to see here. That's what you're going to learn. See, look at this trade. I got out a little too soon. Maybe it came down a little further. It is what it is. Sometimes you can't get the full trade, but so long as you get out positive. And again, once you see the email we send out with the snapshots of the trades that I took on all the end pairs, on all 7 pairs, there were 230 pips to be made, equivalent of $2,100 if you were trading one standard lot per trade. If you were trading a mini, you would have made $210 per contract. It's not how much money you make, it's the consistency of winning that makes the difference. It's the consistency of information that keeps you in the game. And at this point, if it doesn't come down any further, because it's got to break this pivot at 139.45 right here, and if it does, come on, go below it. You broke, so bring yourself to your knees right here, 139.29. And we will take you out at that level. Come on, let's go. Keep going. The pivots basically tell you the next levels that they're going to go to. And when they line up with the trend stop, this being the trend stop, and the power dots, I mean, it's just, they're literally guiding you through each landmine or bomb that these guys have set in their trade plan. That's very unique. It's very different. Now I'm not going to kid you, I got my head kicked in during non-farm payroll this month. I lost 400 pips. But the months before, I made 300, 500 pips. And if it wasn't because I'd made, 200 pips prior to getting into NFP, I would have really been hurting. I've already recovered from my loss. I'm actually, in the green again. Buy a ticket to Thailand jail. I'll buy a ticket to Thailand. Adisak's been asking me to go to Thailand for a few weeks now. But yeah, I'm going to make that trip. We've never met face to face, but we've become very good friends. And I become very good friends with all my students because I want to help them. I want to help them succeed. That's the bottom line. So it's time to take our profit here. There isn't much more to give here. It's time to call it a morning. And for those of you that are interested in the indicators, I'm not cheap. Make no mistake. And we're not that expensive either. We're priced just right. For the full suite, along with, and let me